It's Magdalena. Hi. You don't have to watch these videos in order, but if you haven't seen it already, I have a video talking about the history of teen media on TeenNick, and it's really interesting. We're gonna get into much more interesting stuff here, but it wasn't not interesting. It's really interesting. Go check out my TeenNick video. Megan put it in the doobly-doobly-doobly-doo here. So ABC Family. We're covering ABC Family. So there isn't 3 parts to this. There are 3 parts, but they're more sequential than actual 3 beings coming together and making a baby. The beings. So ABC Family is less like 3 contiguous, 3 symmetrical people, 2 symmetrical people coming together to make a third thing, a la UPN, WB, CW, or Noggin, TeenNick, and then into TeenNick. No. We get the most confusing brand of people coming together. It's like you think you're gonna start talking about the Walt Disney Company, but no. We have to talk about Christian evangelicalism. So if you've watched, and I'm referring, for the purposes to this point, I will be referring to it as ABC Family, because I feel like that was in its golden age, but we'll get to that. If you grew up watching ABC Family, maybe your family watched it in this fall time of year into winter, to watch all the Harry Potter movies.
Their 5-day weekend event begins Wednesday at 7:30 only on ABC Family.
You might have noticed that it is not a 24-hour station in that way that others are, that there is a block, the 700 Club. And there's a reason for that. We have to start with our boy, Pat Robinson. Ow! Not a hot girl, a bigot. Put him in prison. Why did I swear in this? What? My direct first line is ABC Family is fucking basic cable. Why did I write fucking? Okay, ABC Family is basic cable broadcast programming geared toward teens and young adults age 14 to 34 age range. Launched in 1977 as the Christian network owned by Pat Robinson. Pat Robinson. We got one red flag. Pat Robinson. And that's why I was like, is that why the 700 Club is attached? So Pat Robinson creates CBN, Christian Broadcast Network, in 91, I believe. It becomes family focused IFE, and then in 81, my notes, Jesus Christ. So CBN in 80, I believe, and then in 81, and then in 1990 it becomes the Family Channel. And so yeah, that's why the 700 Club is attached to it, because they essentially gather this large influx of Christian viewership, and then they're like, sell it off. So they don't sell it off. They join in a partnership, which then is gearing more towards family, which, a step down from Christians, people who are too worried about family, with the agreement that they continue to show that they A, align with Christian values, and B, continue to show the 700 Club. 700 Club airs at like 1 or 2 p.m. Or 1 or 2 p.m., 1 or 2 a.m. I think it airs at midnight for me. Everyone who owns this channel will have to abide, they have this agreement that everyone will have to abide by, all of these Christian-based airings. and the fundraising that they do. I don't know if you notice, but in January, ABC Family does a lot of airing. So in 1997, why was I so sweary? In 1997, fucking Rupert Murdoch, Red Flag number 2, the root of all evil in the modern TV age, and Hayam Saban, creator of Power Rangers, come together and in a joint venture that birthed Fox Family Network, like third name change. The Fox Family Channel. This will be important when we talk about the CWUPN thing. So in 1989, they wanted to shift towards younger viewers, and as part of the Fox Kid network, if you had a basic cable in the 2000s, you'll remember, it was the best place to watch anime. Censored anime. It was terrible, but it was anime. Towards younger audience, and they pair the Fox Kid network, which they end up selling to Disney ABC. Okay, so that's actually what I meant. So when they want to switch to younger kids, they're like, we got this family channel, what do we do with it? They sell it to Disney ABC, but again, with that whole, you got to keep the Jesus part in. The name was changed, and in November of 2001, we get ABC Family. Woo! So from what I've gathered, the channel with many names above had a base of religious elders, and then they sold the network because evangelicalism is always hand in hand with capitalism, and the religious channel was slowly but surely turning just into a step down into a family-friendly channel that alienated that audience. Okay, so as they slowly alienated their Christian audience into a family one, they were like, sell it off, sell it off, sell it off. So it was sold and bounced around until it lands with ABC, who literally, like, 2 or 3 years earlier had been bought out by the big mouse, big capitalism daddy mouse, which, like, Disney had a premium channel with Disney, you know, the Disney Channel, but they didn't have anything basic cable, which essentially is where ABC Family comes in. Obviously, the Disney Channel by the late 90s, early 2000s would be basic cable, but it wasn't originally. So Disney had previously on cable channel, now expanding, and things were kind of failing. Things were flopping. Things were flopping Tina to the max. Also, this is also somehow involved with the AOL Time Warner merger. Now, imagine me, little me of 6 to 8 weeks ago, thinking, oh my god, I'm just gonna write a cute little script about Teen Nick. Oh, this Teen Nick one's a little more complicated than I thought. And then I get here and we're deep into merger bullshit that will hold ramifications for the next 3 videos I produce. Period, poo. So, as ABC tried to make the sinking ship, ABC Family, successful, they kept and worked and added some more popular additions to make it work. We have the 10-year cable exclusivity rights to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, not the whole series, just that one. And it's not Christmas without it. I personally do not participate in that particular American culture holiday, but oh my god. But you know what? Mazel to all that do. J.K. Rowling's a turd. Oh, that's so gross. They also, you know, tapped into making TV movies for people. This starts the pivot towards teens by purposefully how they start the pivot towards teens by proposing a name change to XYZ to show that they are A, cooler and edgier, and the opposite of ABC. Which is weird because as much as ABC is like just like brilliant marketing, put yourself at the top of the Google list, it's also like stands for something. It's the American Broadcast Cable Network. It's the American Broadcast Company. So being like XYZ, it's like, what does the XYZ mean? Get an underpaid copywriter on that expeditiously right now. They decide not to go through with it, allegedly because Pat Robinson wasn't down, but XYZ is just bona fidely a terrible name for a channel. Pat Robinson says that there's a need for family to be in the title. So this stops being an issue literally like months later, as Pat Robinson suggests that Hugo Chavez should be assassinated. And he is now, Disney starts separating themselves from him as a brand. Big yikes. So all of this is pre-2006. All of this is happening like 2001 to like 2005. Meaning the time before I was really aware of all these things happening around me. So we are now entering, beginning of ABC Family, Megan, that's what you could call it. And now we are entering the new kind of family era. Megan, find that bumper. Find that bumper. So, notable things that happened. They killed Jetix. Jetix is like, in my previous video, I was talking about different Disney Channel, channels? Different channels that were like tertiary channels to a main channel that, how are we feeling about? So, they kill off Jetix and they put down Toon Disney, with Noggin, with their, okay, I was saying something. What I was saying before is that these channels seem to have a tertiary channel where they put weird shows that they don't want on their main channel, but have the rights to in America, and or channels and shows that are older that they still are going to get, whatchamacallit, they're still going to get syndication right. Yeah. They're still going to get syndication from if they continue to air it. They're still big errors. So again, I talked about for Disney XD before Jetix, I watched Pucca on it. And you could, when I was phasing out of my teen years, you could watch Phineas and Ferb there. Apparently, Lab Rats, I guess, is on there now. I don't know. I pay taxes. I don't have time to be aware of that. So this is now the time, now that they've shot Jetix Old Yeller in the Backyard, we now move into our teen drama era. Teen drama, a new kind of family.
On ABC Family, a new kind of family.
So, let's get into the shows. And I'm gonna be covering, I believe, all of these. ABC Family doesn't really have any filler kid or adult shows that I won't be covering, at least for a while. So all of these will be covered in more details. Let's get into it. Kyle XY. The Kyle that didn't have a belly button. It's the kid that didn't have a belly button TV show. He wakes up in a forest outside of Seattle. He is given to a family that must figure out his past. It started in June of 2006. It ran for 3 seasons, ending in March 2009. That's part 1 of a show that's interlocked in my brain. We have Greek, which is a comedy following college students at a fictional Ohio university. They participate in college Greek life, running for 4 seasons from 2007 until 2011. Secret Life of the American Teenager. No, Mom, I get it. I had super great sex, and now my dad is dead. Iconic lines. I think actually the line is, "No, Mom, I get it. I had super hot sex with my super hot boyfriend, and now Dad is dead." Will always be drilled into my brain. Of course, I will be covering it. It's a show about these girls who make a pregnancy pact, I believe, and so it's like 3 or 4 girls at the school who are all pregnant. But like things get wild from there. You know, we'll get into it. Why is that shirt? Huh? That's a problem. Make It or Break It, running for 3 seasons. The girls are competing for a place on the 2012 Olympic team. If this sounds interesting to you, before I get ahead of it, you can check out Basic Girlies, Basic Girls on YouTube. They currently have part 1, when I'm writing this, out on their channel. It's such a good video. Like, I loved it. It was really good. It was like really good. 10 Things I Hate About You, running for 1 season from 2009 to 2010, based on the 1999 film of the same name. It's also, it's a William Shakespeare adaptation. Ruby and the Rockets. Yeah, not covering this. A former teen heartthrob and his video vixen wife settle into the suburbs until his brother and former band member bring in his teenage daughter, abandoning her. She needs to be raised. It's, you know, cute little show. It's got Alex Vega in it and Austin Butler. Mr. Elvis himself with his bad Elvis accent. Austin Butler, running for 1 season. Pretty Little Liars, premiering in 2010. Duh. Okay, so that is the list of shows. So now that the channel is successful in this demo, it was time for a change. In 2015, ABC Family becomes Freeform. They wanted to appeal to young people in general, becoming the high. They wanted to appeal to young people becoming something. They wanted to be essentially appealing to, in 2015, millennials into their aging years. So their demo bumps from 14 really to 18 to 34. So shows of this time period include Shadowhunters and Cloak and Dagger, which is Marvel affiliated. So Disney did, in fact, try to buy Pat out of the CBN agreement for $42 million, but he would not bite because it's, you know, more cost effective for him to raise money and have access to young, seemingly secular people just looking for entertainment than it is to not just continue to push at families. So to the present, so we're in the freeform to present era, which, you know, it's very, now that, you know, they're successful because most, if not all, ABC freeform shows air on Hulu as well. So they have a direct into the streaming households of young people and, you know, millennials with cable. So let's get into some more shows that are in the becoming era. We have Good Trouble, a spin-off, I believe, of Foster's. Motherland, Fort Sumter. Holy shit, Fort Sumter. Motherland, Fort Salem, Cruel Summer. We have Grownish. I'm not covering that. You can't make me. I don't care if it's actually a teen drama. I'm not watching that show. Everything's Gonna Be Okay. Dawson's Creek, which I think we talked about in Nick, but whatever. Smallville, the other half of my connective tissue in my brain We will cover it more in depthly during the WBC. But just know Kyle XY, CW, and Smallville are connected in my brain. Sweet Valley High, single drunk female, everything is trash. Switched at Birth, I will be covering. 9 Lives of Chloe King, The Lying Game, Jane by Design, Bunheads, Baby Daddy, The Fosters, Ravenwood, a Pretty Little Liars spinoff, Young and Hungry, Dead of Summer, The Bold Type, Sirens, Pretty Little Liars, The Perfectionists, another Pretty Little Liars spinoff. And it was, pretty successful at that point. It's found its foothold as a millennial, TV show network. The thing about the Time Warner AOL buyout means that Time Warner is actually Time Warner is still kind of attached to Disney. All of these, everything's a monopoly. Everything's connected. So because of that, there are some shows that are definitely ABC Family shows and I think of them as that are on HBO Max. See Pretty Little Liars. So we'll see how that shakes out. Who can take down the mouse? Apparently Discovery Plus, which is so weird. But so ABC Family ends up being kind of their child and teen focused push, but it ends up being a very successful channel as far as what it was and what it stood to do. And once it found its footing, it never strayed away from that. Once it found what made it successful, they didn't pivot. We will see that other channels cannot stop pivoting away from finding when your demographic is teenage girls, stick with them. I have a theory. I'm still going. I have a theory about this, that teenage girls, that if you can get a female fan base, really, pretty medium in their teenage years, they will support them till their last breath, no matter what they do. Harry Styles cannot act. He cannot. And yet he is in Don't Worry Darling, and he was in Dunkirk once, and they're like, actor, no faults. He's an actor. And I love that for him, and I love that for his fans, that they feel that way. Justin Timberlake should not be in acting. He just does not have the charisma for it. Teenage heartthrob, boop, 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 boop. Girls are going for it. Look at Austin Butler. He's got a shitty Tennessee accent, and the girls are like, woo! It's also because he's got a black wife, and people are like, oh my god, the fish is swimming? Give the fish a prize. But if you get teenage girls as your demo, see Gossip Girl and Pretty Little Liars, you can ride that bad boy into the sunset, I'm telling you. Don't run from teenage girls as a demo. Okay, so I have some shows, lastly. I have some shows that are ABC shows that I could not make work into these videos, and I could not make work really into my last tertiary video about it, which is just some ABC shows that I think really hit that teen demo really hard. So not only is, I don't think Grace is going to be in my wheel, but we will discuss. We have Desperate Housewives. We have Once Upon a Time. We have Pushing Daisies. I love Pushing Daisies. I've seen Pushing Daisies before. No notes on Pushing Daisies. I am not going to watch Boy Meets World, but Boy Meets World is in there. You can check out Jose, the channel Jose, the Bluebird, video about it. Clueless is also somehow involved in this, again, as a TV show, but we'll talk more about that in the UPN video. Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Sabrina the Teenage Witch at this point has been on 2 networks. I've never seen a show be on more networks. and lastly Sister Sister, followed by Sister Sister, who I believe has been in syndication on 6 different TV networks. We will get into it. I don't end up talking about it, NBC, because NBC actually doesn't launch a successful teen market. They start too early. Excuse me. It's like Gen X were latchkey kids left at home to fend for themselves, and thus the special, after school special is birthed from that. However, by the time that first round millennials, like people born in like 80 to 85, are able to be home and watch TV, instead of having specials that teach them, don't open doors to strangers, they're just like, let's get real depraved and just have some shit on the teen screen for kids and teens. So like Saturday morning, like, cartoons and things are still applicable, which is where you get like Saved by the Bell and those kinds of shows. And honestly, like Saved by the Bell, which was the basis of NBC's teen block, wasn't even supposed to be a teen show. It was supposed to be about the teacher, Miss Bliss, and it ends up falling apart. So NBC just never got a full grasp on what to do to make a successful teen block, and thus they didn't attempt to, and thus they, there isn't one like I can look to for like ABC or CBS and like Fox here with ABC Family. That's all I got for you. Again, subscribe. Again, this is the second video in a series. Obviously, this is pretty standalone safe, because I'm just talking about the history of pretty uninterconnected things, but they are all part of a series of me talking about teen television. So if you'd like to see the first part, which is about Nick and Teen Nick, it's pretty good. But yeah. I really like my Teen Nick video. It's pretty good. You can check it out here. Actually, I might set up whatever's best for you here, and then my teen anthology series playlist will be here for you, around, and you could subscribe around my face. I'm really jazzed about this. Yeah. Subscribe. I have an end card. Bye.